YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Rome 2, and this time it is in the Macedon campaign where we left off, which was having raised Olbia in response to being attacked by these jerks.
Ready for orders.
Alright, and it looks like that for now Alexandria has remained unscathed. This army did lose half of its movement points, but I think I can now move into reinforcement range. Getting a lot of lag for some reason.
Commander.
Not sure what that's all about. But let's see this Brave of the King here. Let's see if we can manipulate him into joining our cause. Sweet. So just picked up another agent.
My words are yours to
And
knowledge overcomes
Ready for
ignorance,
orders.
as sunlight does darkness.
yep. And I can't do anything to this guy because we're under siege. So that's pretty sweet. I'm now in reinforcement range, so if I get attacked, these guys can reinforce Alexandria, so that ought to dissuade the Egyptians from attacking. Plus, it's still going to take them 6 turns to force a surrender out of me. While they're taking some small bit of attrition. It's not much. But my men aren't taking any attrition, they just simply can't retrain. And then, I can't remember... Enemy agent effects. Yeah, I think we still got poisoned out here on the last turn, unfortunately. Really? The Spartans still have a small army out here? I had no idea. I'm going to go ahead and move this army up just a little bit. Going to keep the spy very nearby. There's the Egyptian royal spy who's been giving me crap. Preferably, I'd like to assassinate her. My chances are pretty low of success, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot. Sweet! That was complete total luck on my part. Huge luck on my part. That was awesome. So now I have a ton of food, which is funny, because I had like no food a few turns ago. What's up with that? I want to go through my provinces again, just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So Thracia, Italia, Illyria. I now have a ton of food, so I should be able to use some of this money to upgrade some of these commerce structures, and might as well, just gonna boost my economy. So all that kind of stuff will be totally worth it. And because of the level of food as well, I might go ahead and convert this over to trading port. Okay, so Tulliferdum here. We definitely don't want to make any patchy factories like I have done elsewhere, so let's go ahead and run with the cattle farm. Standard farm here. And I've already got a temple here and a hoplite barracks. Let's go with a couple public forums. We can grow Garama, which... let's make sure that the rest of my... Yeah, this is what I wanted to check for first. So we've already got a temple, which is fine. Let's put in some of these. And a hoplite barracks there as well. Okay, we can't upgrade those because I've spent my money elsewhere. In fact, let's go back to where we upgraded those 2 harbors. And yeah, because we've also got other things that need to be taken care of. Can't seem to remember where oh, I did it up here, so let's go to Thracia, Italia, Illyria. That's where we did it, was in Illyria, so let's drop both of those. And then now we can use that money to go back through here and finish building anything that needs to be built. And we won't worry about level 1 building upgrades until I make sure that every province isn't going to have slums created due to my negligence. So that will be how we focus our attention here. I don't really need a barracks here, so let's just drop an outskirts. And I don't really know that we need this structure for extra food at the moment as well. I think I'm going to just convert that over to tariff from trade agreements. I switched over to wine trader because I don't have any at the moment. And then we should be good there. Because right now I am pretty overkill on food, which is fine. I'm going to use it all, though, to run upgrades. But we still haven't gotten through all our provinces. I need to quit spending money on stuff like that until I upgrade things like this first. Poseidon. Let's go back to where I just upgraded. Yeah, let's go back because I don't need to upgrade that. Now we can go back forward. Again, just make sure we're not about to create a bunch of slums, because I think we all saw how that worked out previously for me. Alright. Do believe that we're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at our armies and what we're about to finish researching as well. So it'll just give me more tariff, trade agreements, and then give me +7 food overall. Okay. Redneck Rabble has an upgrade. All Hellenic cavalry units, Hellenic infantry. I'm going to do that. And then trade gain, so it should be good. Let's check our map and just see which armies have movement points and whether or not we want to move them. We're going to need to leave troops there momentarily. Right, I have a spy here and another spy here. Let's take one and go north to disrupt up here. There is a enemy warlord here. We'll take care of him with a different agent.
The shadows are friends.
And I don't have a ton of money left, but more or less, let's not worry about necessarily sabotaging or doing anything like that. Let's take this War Maiden. See if we can get a lucky manipulation here on the Boii agent. Holy crap, man, I'm on a roll right now with agents. Talk about luck. I'll take it. I will take it gladly. So one more turn and this army should be ready to push.
The gods have brought me to you.
And this agent's helping to uphold the public order here. I'm not really worried about anything a warlord is going to do to me.
Ready for orders.
And we're about ready to retake that. We're safe at Olbia. This fleet is parked in position, guarding the crossing, waiting to go against Galatia, guarding Knossos. And we should be chasing a Spartan fleet here, but it looks like the Carthaginians got to him. So that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start sailing over this way and just try and bring this fleet over to where it might be more useful. And I think we've done everything that we can for this turn, so just make sure no more upgrades. There is not. And let's end the turn. Oh, we can issue an edict in one of our entirely controlled provinces. Well, I want to say it canceled an edict in Illyria, which I'm not really sure why. We definitely don't need any more food, so I might just run a tax harvesting edict here in Illyrium. Okay. Yeah, the Boii are in near destruction. I've got them surrounded and most of their forces are in bad shape. And then once that's finished and I'm able to recommit all those forces to the war in the east, Macedon's going to be expanding at a very rapid pace. And I don't know if any of the factions are going to be strong enough to stop me. Egypt is the strongest faction, and even they seem to be struggling with me. Though they have put up some fight. I'll give them that. It's definitely forced me to have some fights with them. Galatia looks like that'll be a fun fight too.
The spirits tell us that we should offer you gold. We do not argue.
The spirits tell me that you're not getting a peace treaty. The spirits or myself, one of the two, right? Let's see. Really wish I had more time to play Rome 2, because Attila's coming out in February, and I'm definitely going to cover a campaign and some multiplayer and stuff, but I'm not really ready to give up on Rome 2 yet either. I know normally when a new game comes out, I pretty much just cover it straight up. But I'm not really ready to get rid of Rome 2 because they just brought the Emperor Edition, and so there's still campaigns and stuff I want to do. I will definitely be covering Attila, and I will bring you lots of Attila, but I think I'm still going to throw some Rome 2 videos in from time to time, just because, I think the Emperor Edition kind of brought us the game in its more completed form, and you know, it'll be nice to get some more play time in with it, because I don't feel like I'm finished with it yet. Anyway, it looks like we're going to be able to take out this Spartan forces out here. That's not going to hurt anything, so Libya's being a good ally and helping to get rid of enemy troops behind my lines, and my other armies stopped being poisoned, so it can now continue the march towards the Nile Valley and hopefully start putting some hurt down on Egypt. All right. And we completed that. Enemy was wounded. Increase in rank. Well, good.
Ready for orders.
All right, so we can now take this settlement back. And we're going to occupy it. And let's take a look at our messages. Settlement captured, so these guys have not yet been extincted. This hero doesn't have any movement points left, but we might try and convert some of these agents. Okay, so their army is going to now head off to try and cause some damage elsewhere. Looks like Malva is the next city in their path, which, again, won't have a very good protection. I don't think I have any agents in this region. If I do, I need to get down here. So Olbia was raised. We're rebuilding the structures. I don't really feel a need to turn that army around either. Should be good. Getting all the way over to Tur before the winter completely chews my troops up is going to be a challenge. But this army is now in the process of retraining. Let's bring it down here to Gallic, and then we can move from there on over to Tur. And I'll take care of all my buildings once I get some movements done first. Now this province isn't going to be completely happy yet, but that's just going to have to be okay. I need to get up here and keep knocking out Boii positions. Yeah, I mean that really needs to be my focus, just getting in and taking out the Boii anywhere and everywhere I can. Tulliferdum has got this army here. If I go out and attack him, I'm going to have to cross a river. Almost might just let the Cimbri help me mop up these Cherusci rebels and just leave that army be for now.
Commander.
Let's go ahead and get ready. Let's see. So it is summer, so it's not quite winter yet. I can go ahead and march this turn. Take out the Boii up here. And we can go ahead and put this champion back in for further training. And this high level, they've already got a champion in their army. Let's just go see if we can find an army where this... Yep, this army could use one. Let's see if we can force march to here. Well, we can get most of the way there, so that'll be good. And then we can bring this agent to do some military training. So perfect, now we've got an agent there. And let's go see what awaits us at Tur. We'll take the spy ahead of my army. Alright, so should be all in position here. Let's go back down towards Egypt. Go ahead and march towards Ammonium. My guys will continue retraining, and they are retraining rather nicely at this point. Egypt can now be attacked and forced out of its siege. They're hoping to get me on a surrender, but that is not going to happen. So I'm going to come over here and attack this Egyptian army. I actually cannot get to them on this turn, but it's okay because I won't be forced to surrender anyway. And let's see if we can convert this Egyptian noblewoman. See if my luck holds on. Holy crap, man. I'm on a roll here. This is fantastic. Let's see, does this army need... Nope. All these armies have champions in them, so it's good. I'm just gonna have extra agents sitting around. We can take them to wherever we need them. But having champions in all my armies is gonna be huge. Without having any huge threat from the Boii anymore, I'm kind of inclined to go ahead and attack Galatia, just because I don't see how it's gonna hurt anything. I've completed almost all of my research on this side, so the only thing that has anything left is this tier here. And let's go ahead and just drop in and let that finish off. It's going to take quite a while. I may just wait and make sure we knock these guys out for good before I go against the Galatians, just to be sure. And it's probably a little bit oversure, but that's okay. So now we can actually take care of our buildings. So I'm going to go back up here and start from the top again, just to make sure I get this straight. my food is even more through the roof at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and convert some of these fisheries back over to trading ports and just get some money out of it. Like, for instance, this fishery here. I mean, well, I don't know. That's a full 12 food. I might keep a few of them, but I'm going to convert a lot of them and just try and start boosting my income. Got a ton of buildings that are being completed at this point. And I'm going to look for the best ones to upgrade on the way through here. Again, this small fishery just only providing 6 food. I'm just going to convert that over to a harbor. Try and get some more income. I'd like to get my income like way up. I know it's already pretty good, but never hurts to push it through the roof. It's kind of my thought here. And we are not going to create any patchy factories at this point, so I can go back and spend my last little bit of money somewhere. I'm spending like a politician here. This is fantastic. Alright. Spend it till it's gone. That's how it's done. Alright, let's see. Let's get these agents taken care of. Noble cunning. Critical success is probably going to be more useful. And we've got sponsored by Nike. I love that army name. It's one of my favorites. Alright, now his military training is perfect. Alright. Macedon has grown exceedingly powerful in this campaign, which is pretty cool. We went west, which, honestly, if you're looking for ultimate victory, just is going to extend the campaign, because to get ultimate victory, you have to go east. But, oh well, it made it fun. As we move east now, we're going to be extremely powerful. So it'll make it easier for us to take on some of the eastern factions. And we needed to take out Rome early. There was no sense in allowing Rome to become powerful early on. See if Egypt... Nope, Egypt does not bring up any reinforcements to Alexandria. Gallic Confederation, let's see if there's anything they're able to do. I somehow doubt it. I think that they've mostly been destroyed, and it's just going to be a simple matter of mopping up the remaining provinces. Oh, they do have a little force behind me there. And then they've got some fleets. But those fleets are probably costing them a lot right now, rather than doing them a whole lot of good. Should be just keeping their income down. Ardhan has sent agents all the way over here. And they're going to try and sabotage my reinforcing army. Too bad Egypt still can't make good on it, but it may stop that army from moving. Oh, look, now Ardhan's going to send reinforcements, so we've got to take out that Egyptian army because we've got reinforcements heading in, and that agent coming in and sabotaging can sometimes keep your troops from reinforcing, which could have put me in a potentially dangerous situation had Ardhan timed that better. Oh, look, they just hired up a whole bunch of mercenaries with that steppe faction army that was going through my land, so I'm going to have to go deal with them. Because now they are a serious threat. We'll try and pin them in from two sides, though, to keep them from getting away, because otherwise they may just run out in front of me, taking cities. Subversion there, subversion of Petrodeva, military sabotage, military subversion. So a lot of enemy agents working against me, but I still have half my movement points. And now my agents should be able to turn around and cause some damage of their own. This agent of Ardhan can now be manipulated. And he has now been hindered. And this army does have the movement points now to drive back the Egyptians, which means that the troops of Ardhan will arrive too late to reinforce.
To battle!
And I'm not going to let the Egyptians, I am going to have to let them retreat, unfortunately. So the Egyptians are going to get away from me there. As far as recruiting goes, not a whole lot of fantastic troops that I would really want to get on my hands. I wonder if there's any good mercenaries that I can pick up here. Leopard warriors, Egyptian archers, Tarentine Cav. Hoplites. Yeah, nothing particularly fantastic. Yeah, I don't really know what, if any of these would be of a whole lot of use to me. I've got a ton of cavalry already. I may just pick up a leopard, or, you know, if I'm going to pick up a unit, I might as well just pick up a hoplite, which I think I can recruit a standard hoplite here, so just do that. This army's only got 15 out of its total, but it can now start retraining. And let's do some retraining. We need infantry more than anything right now, and the best infantry that's available to me here is going to be these hoplites. So just going to drop as many of them in one turn as I can to try and bolster that army's strength a little.
Ready for orders.
Okay. And let's move this agent over here. Noblewoman. Yeah, it looks like Libya is moving out ahead of me towards Memphis and these other things. I don't know if they have enough strength to actually get up there and do anything, but my other army is retraining along its way, and we should be able to threaten Egypt with a very substantial force, and they're going to be in some pretty big trouble here, personally. These enemy transports, got some ships here. And those ships, plus the garrison, ought to be able to hold back, because I also have a garrison fleet. Yeah, that would give the enemy transports a bunch of trouble. Plus, I'm not at war with Galatia. I'm just anticipating what might happen if they were to attack me at the moment. And so these guys have gotten ahead of me. They're in forced march, and they've hired up a ton of Dacian spears. And this is kind of why I held these guys back in reserve. I got all these companion cav. Let's go into forced march and see how far we can make it all the way up to this crossing point, which means that even if these guys do get behind me and cause some trouble, I'm going to cut off their retreat, basically. So if I move this army forward, now they can't retreat, and if they move forward, I'm going to hit them with the Titanic turds over here. Take these guys out of forced march, and we're just going to move them up here on the road, but still within our province. And then we might be able to reach Tur, which apparently is having a trouble with some rebels, which is fine. Fine with me. Alright. I'm gonna just raise this settlement and go ahead and start building some of the structures here that we're gonna need. Let's see. Let's build some buildings that boost public order a little, since the Cimbri have some influence here. Just make sure we keep public order high, which we should be able to do. And let's just kind of keep this army moving towards Mons Regius, and just, you know, kind of again see what if anything the Boii have out in front of us. They have this army behind me. That's fine. Just give them a poisoning to slow them down and weaken them. And then they have this force here, which actually means I should have probably marched back. But I have this army moving forward. These guys are actually no longer forced to stay here as well, because Tulliferdum has been cleared of enemies, essentially. So let's go ahead and start moving up behind the Boii here. So if they do attack this city, that's fine. They'll probably be able to take it. But I should be able to get in behind them at this point. So I'm not going to go into forced march. We'll just start pinning these Boii forces in, so that the damage they cause will be minimalized, essentially. We can probably go ahead and tear down this structure and convert it over to one that gives me some economy as well. So I do have a little bit of money left once again. No need to move those guys yet. No need to attack the Galatians just yet. And this fleet can continue along its way.
What does Pharaoh wish of me?
Ooh, I really do want to get in a big fight against the Egyptians in Ardhan here, though. So I'm going to end a turn and see if they'll get into it with me.
Ready for battle.
I think we pretty much moved all the troops that we can move at the moment, though. Alright. Oh, I have an unassigned skill, and I'm just going to save up some of this money, and then I'll go ahead and run a bunch more building upgrades here soon. There we go. Yeah, my economy is starting to pop back up too, and it ought to get pretty massive. Sweet, the Carthaginians are doing some work on the enemy Egyptians outside of Alexandria. And if Ardhan and Egypt don't attack me on this turn, they're going to be in big trouble, because I'm just training more troops, and my guys are just going to get healthier each turn. And those aren't particularly powerful armies, but they are together. They have numbers, and the AI looked like it didn't have necessarily fantastic troops itself, so I feel pretty good about my chances there. Oh, Galatia is going to declare war and just come at it. So I guess that's going to be the end of this video, is us shutting down Galatia, who has some naked swords, Galatian swords, ton of levy freemen, not a lot of cavalry. And I've got companion cav here and some very, very good foot companions, so this is going to be fun. These Galatians are just going to get absolutely pooped on in this fight. I mean, this might be kind of a decent Galatian army if it was early campaign, but it is not early campaign. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I am very much looking forward to this. And I've got Royal Peltis protecting one flank of my foot companions and Shield Bearers protecting the other flank. So, again, good luck with that. You're going to need it. I'm going to take all these guys out of formation attack, as it's not going to serve a whole lot of purpose in this fight. And then I'm going to take my lighter cavalry units and run this flank. And I'm going to put all my heavy cav on my left. Archers can go here.
Orders understood.
I'm going to group all these units, and actually do not wish to skirmish with my Agrionians. Okay. Let's bring up an army to face down the Galatians, and I have this huge beastly heavy cavalry over here, and then just kind of more of a harassing and holding cavalry force on this flank. So clearly I intend to bring the power from my left onto the Galatian right. And then the Agrionians combined with these Thessalians and Thracian cavalry ought to be able to keep the enemy at bay on my right flank. And of course, anything that the Galatians have that can deal with 4 companion cav, I'd be impressed, because I don't think that they have that capability. These foot companions have also taken a buff to their armor in the last patch, so they're going to be harder for missiles to kill. I'm just going to start walking my men forward at this point. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and form a contiguous line in a hurry. Let's bring these guys up. Cavalry up. Cavalry this way. Foot companions into phalanx. My Royal Peltist are throwing their javelins. Okay, I'm going to brace for this incoming light cav charge. Probably didn't get it in time, but it is just a light cav into my Royal Peltist. I'm going to go ahead and just fight these levy freemen with my Agrionians, and then start to move around their flank. Let's bring in my companion cav to finish this fight. Let my archers fire at will. Actually, don't fire at will, target those slingers. So now we've got 2 levy freemen going up against my 1 Agrionian. We're going to support with a shield bearer, and then surround with this other Agrionian, and we'll just push forward this way. I'm going to see my Agrionians in action here. So yeah, getting into action behind these levy freemen. Pretty sweet stuff. And then now my companions are going to be lined up for a very nice rear charge here. And the enemy is going to try and turn around some troops to face me, but that is going to be a fruitless venture. My companion cavalry has the capability to damage their units very badly on the charge. going to be enough to beat these guys down in the end. See, I'm going to bring in a flank charge with these companions. My companion cavalry is racking up a lot of kills against all these fairly unarmored units. Let's get in here and hit these naked swords again. Agrionians have mopped this up. So yeah, really not a chance. And their light cav managed to actually kill 40 of my peltist, which is a joke. My royal peltist. But whatever. I guess you got to give the AI something. Okay, all the enemy units now in a full-on waver. And the only thing left is the enemy noble horse that's up here against my phalanx, and it's going to be rear charged by my companion cavalry. So, classic phalanx warfare here. Phalanx backed up by heavy cavalry and supported by other specialty units. So we're going to end up driving back the Galatians here with heavy losses, which is perfect. That's exactly the kind of losses that I prefer. To the enemy, of course, not to myself. And we're just going to start running everybody down. Take them out of this fight once and for all. And the Galatians are no more. Which again is probably the way that I like them in this particular campaign. Alright, just going to fast forward for a second, make sure that these honkies die. Yes, I just said honkies, I have no idea why. That was pretty random. Yeah, I love how the AI gets their troops like all split up, so it makes them even harder to run down. Though I will admit that it's probably slightly more realistic for them to be running away in that fashion, rather than they have to run away as a big group all the same. So that wouldn't honestly make any sense. Alright, that'll do. So that's going to be all the time I have for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. We just gave the Galatians a massive beatdown, like a 20-1 beatdown. And their light cavalry, again, scoring far more kills than it deserved, charging into a royal peltist. I will grant the first time my royal peltists weren't braced, but the second time they were. Don't really see how that's possible, but whatever. Again, we'll give the AI something to make them feel better. Only one unit escaping with their lives. So that was a pretty foolish errand there, Galatia. Don't really know what you were thinking. And now my fleet is positioned off your ports, and I'm going to start beating the living crap out of you. So this ought to be entertaining. I'll see you on the next Macedon episode, where apparently the Boii are going to be assaulting me as well.